So recently I have been contemplating and doubting my beliefs. There has been so much going on lately. All I see on my TikTok For You page is just Andrew Tate, Andrew Tate, Andrew Tate.
Have you ever seen anyone with a vape? Have you ever sat in a room? So we go, wait, let me just go. My vape's done charging. Load it up. I mean, I smoke cigars, but I know what the fuck I'm doing. Give me a big fat cigar.
It's just Andrew Tate trying to help make me a better Sigma and other woke culture stuff online. So after spending like 5 hours on my phone, I knew I needed a break from my screen time. So what I decided to do was a really smart move. I went outside for a run. When I was going out, I did see many people on their phones. In the subway, in the park, in the stores, in their car. It was like if they were forced to watch and they couldn't take their eyes off the screens. It got me thinking, are we truly free or just enslaved to the system we live in? Does this mean we're entirely safe to live under the government supervision? Is it me? Or ever since the 2020 pandemic, we have been experiencing like less freedom or something? Less safety? Is this because of the sudden rational changes that has impacted our lives? Are our lives that different right now? Do we have less freedom, less safety? Should we trust the government? Is this what society wants from us? Okay, I might be going a bit crazy, but after all this, I had an idea. I decided to go ask some local strangers to see what they would think of this. However, it wasn't that easy. Nobody wanted an interview with me. Interview? Interview, sir? Interview? Quick interview? Interview? So after realizing I was alone after all, I was about to give up on this entire video. It wasn't until we found
Melissa.
Melissa brought a spark into my mind. She gave me a new perspective upon life and how we live in this society based on freedom and security. Do you feel safe at night once you go to sleep?
Depending on the place where I'm living. For example, it's different if the situation back in Mexico than right here in Madrid.
Do you feel like you're free?
Sure, definitely.
Which one do you prefer? If you had to pick one, would you rather have more freedom or more security?
More security. Everything needs to have a balance. You need to know how much freedom and how much security and how everything affects. So if you get to balance the freedom and security, well, then that's the key to having great places.
While I was interviewing her, I was too distracted on what a wise man once said. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. That indeed was the case for Benjamin Franklin. In other words, he meant whoever prefers security instead of liberty is a justified slave, like Aristotle's claimed. I believe that the line between prudent security measures of infringement for liberty is not as clear and distinct as we hoped. Freedom is good, but security is better. That's what Thomas Hobbes literally believed in. He made his point by imagining what it would be like to live without a government, laws, or society. In this state of nature, you could do whatever you wanted to do, but anyone else could do whatever they wanted to do to you. You'd have plenty of freedom, but you would live in constant fear. So, is it even worth it? Hobbes then tells us about liberty. The power to do as one wishes is dependent upon oneself. He then mentions how humans are designed to be pleasure-seeking, pain-avoiding animals that seek their own pleasure and advantage, even at the expense of their neighbors, loved ones, unless there is a recognized lawmaker who possesses sufficient power to make laws and to enforce them to not kill the neighbor, basically. So I was like, wow, are humans that stupid? Well, yes. Hobbes describes the life of a man being solitary, nasty, brutish, and short. Hobbes suggested a way out for people. In the state of nature, they could make a social contract to put a strong leaders of government in power over them to keep the peace. Individuals would join together and hand over many of the freedoms. Most of them, in fact, but it would be worth it to gain security and skip the terror of the war. In other words, you can't trust your neighbor, you can't trust nobody because they might kill you. So is that freedom? Yes. But is that safety? Security? I don't think so. That's what Hobbes thought. His justification for having a strong sovereign or government with extensive powers over the people. The trouble is what you end up with may be peace, but at the cost of a frighteningly powerful state. Then we have the other side of the story where his dear friend John Locke argues that in the absence of the government, society suffers from 3 serious defects. Number 1, lack of settled, known, established law. Number 2, lack of a fair, impartial judge. And finally, number 3, lack of power to impose a proper sentence on a wrongdoer. From Locke's point of view, the purpose of the government is that people should establish a social contract. It is so essential to have a stable and strong government to rights and liberties. Locke observes this, saying that nearly all humans, past and present, take sanctuary under the established laws of government and therein seek the preservation of the property. End quote. I was personally taught that freedom and security does exist, almost as if it was like a seesaw. The goal is to have a balance, which is key. If you have a total and complete freedom, then there's no security at all. On the other hand, if you have a total and complete security, there will be no freedom whatsoever. This was what Melissa was telling us about. Balance is key. So Melissa was right. It does come down to have equal balance on both sides. Freedom and security has to be equal in order for society to function properly. This is essentially what the Avengers movies explain about, in case you haven't noticed, that the goal is to have a balance between those two things, freedom and security. We're always working towards tweaking and adjusting the way we govern ourselves to make sure that balance is struck. If you're going to imagine an extreme world scenario without laws, governance, or society, you must also imagine an extreme world where one man decides your fate. Yes, I personally take the freedom. I also recognize that without security there can be no liberty whatsoever. Nevertheless, we should never forget that security is indispensable to liberty, and that no one has a foolproof plan for the perfect blend of security and liberty in the dangerous world in which we live today. Did you like the short film? I think it's more of a mockumentary type beat, but thank you so much for sticking here until the end of this video. I know I've been offline for like 6 months. I just wanted to say I am sorry for not making this video earlier. I'm gonna explain everything in a video very soon that I'm literally editing right now. But I hope you guys like the short film because my professor, I'm not gonna say names, he did not like this. Okay, so to avoid any confusion, this was a video project for my class. This was an excuse to upload on YouTube for you guys to watch. My teacher who watched this, he said it was alright, solid, good job. The whole class were like, whoa, what a video. And my teacher was like, okay, good job, solid. Comment below if you liked the video, or comment below if you thought it was trash. I'll be ready for the hates. Thank you so much, Professor, for hating on this video. In a way, you were kind of hating, but it's fine. I just wanted to let the people know that there's more to come. It's not the end of cheezydreach, so things are gonna change. Alright, I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you.